Good morning, class. My name is Elliot Fernandez, and I am grateful for this class because of how it has helped me to better define missions and the weight that every Christian has with the word mission. Today, I want to talk about my presentation on the missionary Bert. Uh, First, I'd like to answer the question, who was Bert Elliot? So, unlike his brother Jim, the shooting star everyone learned about in Life magazine and numerous books, Bert was a fifth magnitude star. He was a mere pinpoint of light, rising night after night, faithfully crossing the same path in the sky to God's glory. And that is how Randy Alcorn, a famous author but also commentator, um, had described the work, the impact, and the blessing that Bert was to missionaries, but to the churches that he planted, to the brothers and sisters in Peru, but also here at States. I like to talk about his Christian household. He was born in Portland, Oregon, with his dad Fred and his mother Clara. Fred was an evangelist who was accompanied by famous preacher Ironside, and he got his middle name from him. So Bert Elliot got his middle name from Ironside, excuse me. So it was Bert Ironside. His mother Clara was known for the excellent way of raising four children and always keeping the house tidy for missionaries who were staying at home. He had an older brother named Bob, who Bert said was great at getting me in trouble. He had a younger brother named Jim Elliot, the famous missionary who died while trying to reach the Aucas with four other missionaries. And he had a younger sister named Jane. Bert and Colleen, his future wife and his wife, uh, Bert and Colleen met at a Bible conference and would write letters to each other because they lived far apart. Colleen had a genuine interest in missions, which was a perfect fit because Bert Elliot had the same calling from the Lord to go to unreached nations. They were married on January 29th, 1949. Bert and Colleen, before getting married, had planned their marriage around the missionary commitments and were encouraged to marry early by friends. After marrying, they worked with Esael before going to Peru, where they faced hardships while serving in the jungle, coastal cities, and mountains. Their ministry included preaching, meeting physical needs, and forming churches, which eventually grew and spread to other areas. Bert focused on training local disciples to ensure ongoing ministry and mission work, and their efforts were marked by strong connections with local people. I'd like to talk also about his call to missions and how it began. His call to missions began by asserting his own faith after being reprimanded by his father, Fred, and then reading the letter to the Romans by Paul. He had found an obligation that he who gave his life for him demanded his life for him. He found it out. So by finding this obligation, Bert Elliot was sure that spending time in the Lord's presence was crucial for knowing what the Lord wanted for himself, but also for other people. And it confirmed his calling to global missions. I'd like to finish by noticing three missionary insights. First, um, Bert Elliot was faithful and his daily obedience was an example for the rest of us. Bert Elliot exemplified the importance of constantly dedicating each day to God's service, regardless of external recognition or fame. His approach demonstrates that impactful missionary work often looks like steady humble faithfulness rather than dramatic gestures. Second, his relational ministry and discipleship. He prioritized deep relationships, investing in discipleship and training local believers to carry on the ministry, which led to churches multiplying and sustaining themselves for the long term, even until now. Third and final, his sacrificial commitment to God's calling. Bert and Colleen were willing to forsake personal comfort and security, moving where God led them, facing hardships and unfamiliar and often challenging environments. Their story, their work, their life encourages a willingness to move beyond comfort zones to fulfill the Great Commission. Thank you and blessings.